It's your time. It's his time. It's Bam's time. Bam's time to shine. Your boy been in the gym. Y'all see that? But let's get straight to this video. We got top 5 biggest rivals of LeBron James. I ain't gonna lie. It's really one person who I believe is number one. And if he's not number one on this list, I'm not gonna lie nonstop. I'm not gonna unsubscribe to you, but we might have to have a real talk. If you really have, I'm not gonna say who, but there's a specific person who should be number one. But let's get straight to this video though.
Most great players in NBA history are known for their rivalries. Wilt had Bill Russell, Magic had Larry, Jordan hated the Pistons. LeBron James is not known as a trash talker, but throughout his career and 10 trips to the NBA Finals, he has also stepped on some toes and created his fair share of rivalries. Here are the 5 biggest rivals of LeBron's storied career. Number 5,
Don't get me mad.
Dirk Nowitzki. LeBron had many rivalries that have flown under the radar, partly because he was winning a lot, without much chance of rebuttal for the most part. He defeated Gilbert Arenas and the Wizards 3 times in the playoffs early on in his career. He dismantled Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, and the Pistons in 2007.
Oh my God, I'm about to go hoop tomorrow. Bro, I haven't been hooping consistently. I'm about to go hoop tomorrow. And the fact that I stopped playing basketball, like for real on a real team, college team in school, it's like I done got so much fucking smarter. I know that had nothing to do with the video, but me watching clips, bro, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
In 2009, when he got to Miami, he had a rivalry with Paul George, but the Heat won all 3 playoff series against the Pacers. And the same is true for the Raptors with Lowry and DeRozan, who had a rivalry.
I'm gonna be real. I don't really look at these as rivalries. The Dirk Nowitzki one, yes, LeBron choked in the NBA Finals. He didn't do his business. He played like he was trash. 17 points a game, only 8 points in Game 4. We're not going to discredit that. That was terrible, LeBron. You my guy, but I have to be real. That was ass. You were cheeks. Terrible. I don't know what the fuck was going on with you. But I don't really look at these as rivalries, but let's keep going.
With LeBron, but you can't really say that LeBron had a rivalry with them,
not a rivalry.
because he dominated the Raptors every time. So, even though he only played against Dirk Nowitzki in the playoffs once, it was much more of a rivalry than with those other guys we just mentioned. First, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade mocked Nowitzki for being sick during the finals, which I wasn't a big fan of. And then, LeBron proceeded to play the worst playoff series of his life, averaging fewer points in that series than Dirk, Wade, Bosh, and Jason Terry. It was a total abomination and a big slap in LeBron's face, who didn't leave the house for 2 weeks after the finals ended. Even though he'll never admit that, LeBron wasn't the biggest fan of Nowitzki after the finals, and he wanted to avenge that loss every time he played against him. They played 11 more times after 2011, and James won 10 of those games, and it was clear that defeating Dirk meant more to him than just winning a basketball game. Number 4.
I still don't look at that as a rivalry. What do y'all define as a rivalry? Like, I don't look at, like, with Jalen Green and Kay Cunningham, even though those are 2, or you could say Kay Cunningham's on the up and up, Jalen Green still got some time to prove himself. He didn't do good this last playoffs. He still got, he's still getting a chance to show who he is. I'll look at that as a rivalry because every time they play each other, it's smoke. They don't like each other, bro. Like, they don't like each other. It's clear as day. They probably don't got no real beef off the court, but when they play each other, the niggas don't like each other, bro. I could say it's like a rivalry in the making. They're just not tier yet, or Kay Cunningham is on his way, but they just not through the roof yet, if that makes sense.
He miraculously dragged the Cavaliers to the NBA Finals in 2007. LeBron had no business beating Tim Duncan and the Spurs at the age of 22 with that kind of supporting cast. This is going to be your league in a little while, but I appreciate you giving it to us this year. Duncan jokingly told LeBron after the finals. It was a rare side of trash talk from Duncan, if you can even call it that, but it was hilarious and accurate. LeBron really started to dominate after 2007, while Tim Duncan continued to do what he does best: play great defense, hit bank shots, and give boring answers to reporters. 6 years later, the boring Spurs have made it to the finals again, where they were greeted by the best player on the planet. Even though Timmy was 37 and his mobility was somewhat diminished compared to 2007, he was still Tim Duncan, a big fundamental, and probably the best power forward in the game, even at that age. Timmy made the first team All-NBA that year.
Where is Tim Duncan? Tim Duncan, I remember Giannis said something when he retires, he wants to just disappear. He said, that's Tim Duncan. Where the fuck is Tim Duncan at? Where is he? I have not seen Tim Duncan, bro. Where the fuck is Tim Duncan at, bro?
That's how good he was. The Spurs also had an all-star in Tony Parker, the always tricky Manu Ginobili, and the rising star in Kawhi Leonard, who showed why he would win 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards in the near future. But thanks to a heroic performance by LeBron and a miracle from Jesus, the Miami Heat won the pivotal Game 6. In Game 7,
God is always on our side, but he was definitely on their side that night, boy. They was playing their ass off, and God rewarded them.
Duncan missed a potential game-tying layup that he makes 99 out of 100 times. And LeBron James made the mid-range jumper at the end to clinch the title for Miami. Next year, LeBron and Timmy would go at it again, and James was even better than he was the year before. His jumper was smooth as silk in 2014, and he shot 58% from the field in the entire playoffs, including 52% from 3 against...
Oh my God, this is giving me flashbacks, bro. LeBron's 3-ball he was only shooting like 3 a game, maybe 4, but he was making them. He shot like, in the playoffs, damn near 60% from the 3-point line. So efficient from the floor. And they lost 4-1. They was getting their ass whooped. Oh my God, bro, this shit is hard to watch, bro. If I would have known they would have added this shit, I would have even clicked this fucking video, bro. This how y'all know I don't watch videos before I react to them. Because I can't even watch this shit now. I was watching all these games, 2014. Flashbacks.
San Antonio in the finals, but the Spurs played the best basketball in the league that year, and it was
Manu Ginobili dunked on Chris Bosh and shit, bro. This was crazy.
The ball. Without enough help and being defended by Kawhi, LeBron couldn't do it by himself, and the old man Duncan had the last laugh.
I wouldn't say he didn't have help though.
Kevin
it was
Durant.
Like Dwayne Wade was hurt, and Chris Bosh. I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's just.
For the first part of his
KD,
career,
okay.
Kevin Durant was always the bridesmaid, never the bride. It was always close, but with no cigar. I've been the second my whole life. I was the second best player in high school. I was the second pick in the draft. I've been second in the MVP voting 3 times. I came in second in the finals. I'm tired of being second. I'm not going to settle for that. Durant said in 2013. Like Kenny Smith, somebody else would run through the tape before him, and it was usually LeBron. All 3 times Durant was second in MVP
I'll give you this
voting.
one.
James
I'll give you LeBron and KD definitely rivals.
LeBron denied
definitely.
the title in 2012, even though the finals series was much closer than a 4-1 score might suggest. KD even outscored LeBron in the finals, with an insane 55% shooting and 40% from 3. But LeBron enjoyed a champagne shower and a parade, and not Kevin. And even
that's the thing about KD. That's when people used to tell me, look, KD scoring more. If you look at the average, he's scoring 2 more points. LeBron's had more assists, rebounds, and at the time was a way better defender. So LeBron's first team all defense, finished second in defensive player of the year. All right, I averaged 27, you averaged 29, or I averaged 26 point something, you averaged 28 or 27 point. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're right there in scoring, but I'm getting more rebounds and assists, and I'm a better defender than you, and I'm winning. So that was always they can go point for point. Can't guard each other. They're going to go point for point.
Even though Durant had emerged as a superstar, he would almost always lose to LeBron. KD and Bron played 21 times when Durant was with the Thunder, and LeBron had won 17 of those games, despite their stats being virtually identical.
Fast
what I just
teams
said.
need a fast CRM, and that's Monday CRM. It all started with...
However, the pendulum would swing in Durant's favor after the infamous Players Tribune announcement, which said his next chapter would be with the Warriors. Since he joined Golden State, Durant won 12 out of the next 15 games he played against LeBron, including 2 dominant performances in the 2017 and 2018 NBA Finals. Despite all the naysayers, KD had definitely proven his point against LeBron and is arguably the only player who outplayed him individually in the playoffs when both players were in their prime. Number 2, Steph Curry.
I don't look at that as a
LeBron
rivalry.
was a big fan of Steph Curry. While Steph was at Davidson, when Curry first got to the NBA, James invited him to his house for some bowling when the Warriors played an away game in Cleveland. He outbowled Steph and then defeated him in basketball the following night, probably not fully realizing that this skinny, light-skinned kid would give him major problems in the future. Steph and LeBron shared the NBA Finals stage for 4 consecutive seasons, which provided some of the greatest moments in NBA playoff history. Steph could have easily won the Finals MVP in 2015, 2015, despite LeBron's heroics, and receiving votes for Finals MVP despite losing the series. James's finest NBA moment came in 2016 against the Warriors, including multiple 40-point games and that block on Andre
Give me that
Iguodala.
shit!
Steph and LeBron even traded some trash talk during their finals runs, both proving that they
I
are not
remember
as
that.
nice as everyone thinks they are. When KD moved to the Bay, there was almost nothing James could do to stop the Warriors, and that's why Curry is one of the few players that has a better record in head-to-head matchups with LeBron. When KD left, LeBron started winning against Steph once again, defeating the Warriors in the play-in game last season, largely thanks to his clutch three-pointer in the last minute. But because they are in the same conference, the final chapter of his rivalry with Steph, Draymond, and Klay is probably not written yet. Number 1. Paul Pierce.
There we go.
LeBron.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Bron, KD, Pierce, then KD. That's what I was. All right, this video's valid now. That's what I was waiting on. That's the number one rivalry.
Came to the NBA in 2003.
Oh, give me that. Pull
at
up.
the time when Paul Pierce was coming off the best year of his career. Pierce was 26 years old. He already was nicknamed the Truth by Shaq.
Damn, that
and
nigga
he was
was
a
26
two-time
already?
All-Star
Oh, he was
and
born in
All-NBA member. So it was only natural that his antennas were already up when the self-proclaimed chosen one came to the NBA.
Whoa, hold on.
Natural that his antennas were already up when the self-proclaimed chosen one.
Hold on. Let me stop you while you're behind. Self-proclaimed means he gave himself the chosen one. Them niggas in Sports Illustrated gave him the chosen one. Don't you ever disrespect this nigga a day in your life again. Whoever, the self-proclaimed chosen one, no, don't do that, bro. That just made me mad. Don't do that. Don't ever even utter such blasphemy from your fucking mouth again, bro. Don't do that. Self-proclaimed means I said, somebody gave me my nickname, Bam. I didn't give myself that. My coach called me that, and it stuck with it. The chosen one, Sports Illustrated gave him that. It's on the magazine. This is proof. Google it. This is public information. Don't ever do that again.
Came to the NBA, to his conference, played the same position. Pierce was determined to show the rookie that he'll have to go through him if he dreams of doing something in this league. After he scored just 10 points to Paul's 19 in the first game against Pierce in Boston, LeBron erupted for 37 when the Celtics came to Cleveland, a career high at the time. However, Pierce bested him with 41 of his own, spiced up with some trash talking towards Otis Carter, Maverick Carter's dad, and someone whom James considers an uncle. Tell him to be quiet, or I'll drop 50 on you, Pierce allegedly said to young LeBron. During the 2004 preseason, before LeBron's sophomore campaign, Pierce and James nearly had a fight in the locker room after they clashed on the court, and they continued to play extremely tough against each other on every occasion.
Hey, I'm about to watch more videos of
2006,
that.
Pierce scored 50 on LeBron in a double overtime game, becoming the first Celtics since Larry Bird.
Oh, I remember. This was the back and forth game. LeBron had 43 or 44 or some shit.
For half a century. James had 43 in that game,
43.
and got the win, too. 2 years later, this dynamic duo had a clash for the ages in the 2008 Eastern Semifinals. In a pivotal Game 5, James's 35 points weren't enough as Pierce scored 29 points, and Boston took a 3-2 series lead. After James forced a final game with a supreme performance in Game 6 with 32 points and 12 rebounds, Pierce carried the Celtics to a Game 7 victory. He scored 41 points, and the Celtics outlasted James despite Bron's gigantic 45-point game. In 2010, the Celtics and the Cavs met in the Eastern Semis again, and Pierce got the best of LeBron once more. Doc Rivers smartly assigned Pierce as the primary defender on LeBron, and Paul focused all his energy on containing LeBron. Even though he only averaged 13 points to LeBron's 27, Pierce's Celtics and their big three were just too strong for James.
If who y'all say is the best player on this team? With Paul Pierce, KG, Ray Allen, and Rondo in them, you gonna put Paul. If you're not saying he's number one over KG, or it's interchangeable, right? But if he only is averaging 13 points for the fucking series, and this is the first super team too, by the way, guys. They make it like, again, I'm not saying LeBron hasn't played on big teams, but this is the first super team. I think Kobe said it too. This is the first real super team. KG, Paul. They say, oh, we got that when we were older. Bro, y'all won a championship with this team. It's not older. It's only older when y'all started losing. When you won a championship with this team, 2008, right? How was it? Come on, bro. And you went back to the finals in 2010. And you almost went back again 2011 and 2012. It was only older when the L's started happening. But it was cool. Like, nobody was saying y'all was older when y'all was winning and advancing. This is really the first super team right here.
James' supporting cast, which forced him to form a big three of his own and take his talents to South Beach. After LeBron and the Heat dispatched the Celtics in 5 games in the 2011 playoffs, it seemed like LeBron had finally solved the Celtics puzzle forever and that Pierce would never bother him in the playoffs again. However, after he lost the 2011 finals to Dallas, LeBron was on the brink of another disappointing loss in the 2012 playoffs, after the Celtics took a 3-2 series lead in the Eastern Finals, fueled by Pierce's clutch 3 over LeBron that decided the game. And then, staring in the abyss of another embarrassing playoff loss to his biggest nemesis, LeBron delivered the best performance of his life. 45 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists as he single-handedly won the game and blew out
the worst mouth guard ever.
15 rebounds and 5 assists.
Look, like when I first saw this as a little kid, bro, I thought LeBron's teeth was fucked up. Why is it black in there and shit?
Assists as he single-handedly won the game and blew out the Celtics on their home floor. After that, he closed out the series in Game 7 and won his maiden title. But the final chapter of his rivalry with Pierce wasn't written yet, and the two rivals clashed in the playoffs again. It was the 2014 Eastern semifinals.
Fade. Give me that. I'm making that.
Newly formed Brooklyn Nets super team, powered by Russian millions. But Pierce and KG were too old to provide much resistance to LeBron, who was playing the best basketball of his career.
Y'all know how they said Pierce was 26 when they played against LeBron for the first time? LeBron is 29 in this photo, and them niggas is probably like, I don't know how old. They probably 35 plus in this photo, 35 or some shit like that. Hey, we didn't get, did LeBron get the I'm going up against an older team when he was 18, 19, 20, 21? Them niggas was 20. Pierce was 26 when they first played against each other. They just said that, I believe. And if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but I think I'm right. He was 26 when he first played against LeBron. Nobody said nothing.
The Heat's 4-1 victory was LeBron's 3rd win over Pierce in the playoffs, compared to Paul's 2 triumphs over James. Altogether, LeBron has won 35 career games
KG don't want that.
Pierce,
Shout out KG though.
34 wins against
Shout out
the
Paul
King,
Pierce too.
because Pierce has the most victories over LeBron than any other player, and because they had so many memorable matchups, he will likely remain the biggest rival of LeBron's career.
Biggest rival is definitely Paul Pierce. I probably got to react to a video about that. Worst contracts in the NBA right now. Oh my God. Y'all want me to react to this? Let me know in the comments. Rest in peace to Kari, ex, my grandma, both our grandmas, and I'm gone. BamTime.